Yep, we're going to find out where he is pretty quick.
Thank you so much for coming out. We've got a fairly short program for you right now. We're just going to move through it. Typically, how we're going to do this is we start with some songs that we play as a whole group. Second years play everything, pretty much. They have one song they're not going to play completely, but everything else they play completely on. And so that kind of gives the first years a break between. They get tired a lot more quickly. Anyway, let's see. What else do I need to tell you? I think we're ready. We've got some soloists. That's what I was just kind of sorting out. And I'll kind of explain things as we go along. Thank you so much for being here. It means a lot to them. It means a lot to us. We are going to start with two fairly easy songs. These are really the two first real songs that weren't pop crossbuds that the kids learned, so they're doing them very nicely. Can we please turn phones and games and whatnot off? Please, it's very distracting. It's distracting them. It's extremely distracting to me. I start hearing things and everything goes out of my head, so I apologize for that, but please turn things off. I do want to give people a chance to take photos. I was going to do it at the beginning, but we're kind of starting late. So we're going to go ahead and play. When we're done, I'm going to have them stand up and bow. I'm going to have them sit down again and let you guys come up and take pictures. Please don't try and grab them quickly because it can ruin somebody else's memory, okay? We'll give them about 5 minutes to take pictures at the end, all right? So we're going to start au clair de la lune and down by the station. Without talking, there is no talking on stage. Back row, can you see me? Yeah. Right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our next two songs are second years. The first one is called Theme from Symphony No. 1, and the next one's called Bingo. And one of the things that we're working on with second years a lot is getting some more nuance in the way we play. It's kind of hard with wind instruments. It's a little easier with orchestral instruments and strings. It's a little harder with wind. It's a lot harder to play these instruments. We have a lot of mechanics we have to think about while we're playing. It's not just, I teach orchestra as well, so I do know what I'm talking about. It's not just using a few fingers, 3, sometimes 4, and learning to use the bow. Those things are difficult too. But these kids are learning to use almost all of their fingers. They're having to use their breath. They're having to decide when to breathe, how to make that sound. Making the sound is hard. We use what we call embouchure, which is the tightening of it's like a really tight smile. And it's the same for all the instruments, although we use it slightly differently. So getting that is how we get the nice sound. So we're still working on that. That's developing. Anyway, all these things, and then reading music on top of that. So they are learning a lot. It's really great for their brains. It makes all kinds of synapses. It creates synapses in their brains. It's really great. Anyway, so theme from Symphony Number 1, we're going to try and play legato. Legato is smooth and connected. We want to have a nice kind of smooth sound. We're just going to go straight into bingo, which is not legato at all. Okay, so we've got to contrast the pieces.
Can't see.
Easy Street and Country Walk. They actually played music last year, but they switched instruments this year. So they kind of already know the songs that we're doing, but they're incorporating these on new instruments. And so I've let them join us on some of these songs. This is The Little Fish going into When Love Is Kind. The next song is Merrily We Roll Along, which is basically Mary Had a Little Lamb. It's a first-year song, but I want you to hear how great the first years sound all by themselves. In fact, most of this group are first years. Most of them are first years. We really don't have that many second years this year, which is fine. And the first years are doing great. So anyway, they're playing both times, and then the second years will join them on the repeat. This is our second year playing a duet, and basically what that is, we've got a melody with a harmony. And what they're going to do is some of them are going to play the melody and then go straight into the harmony. Some of them are going to start on the harmony and go straight into the melody. So it's just a level of complexity that we keep adding. Just helps them work towards playing larger pieces in different parts, which you'll hear them do a little bit later, at least a lot of them. The first years will do something similar at the end of our concert. So everything we do is building and expanding their ability to do other things, and it's kind of hard because when you hear somebody playing something that you're not playing, sometimes you can think, oh, I'm wrong, especially for the trumpets, because they want to play what they're hearing. So it takes a lot of discipline, and they're doing great. So anyway, this is Lullaby. Also laid off of the leaves as much as possible. And one of the things that they've been having a hard time with is we usually play with a one note, and then now we're learning a different note, but it's kind of the same. So the flutes have got A and A flat. The clarinets and the trumpets have got B and B flat. And we've been having trouble getting those confused. So This is really good for that. We'll see how they do. This is called Old Blue. Also, we need soloists for this. Let's see. I was going to ask. So a round is basically, for those of you that don't know, most of you probably do, a round is a song that you do in several groups. One group will start, and they start to play, and then the next group will come in, and they start at the beginning of the same song. So you're basically playing the same song, but just starting at different times. This, again, really gets their ears and their brains working on hearing different things, and keeping track of where they are when other people are playing something completely different, or the same thing at a different time. It's very confusing when we first start. So anyway, this is second years. First time through, we're going to play tutti. This one's extra hard because it's in C4, and they have to be counting very carefully at the end, or the whole thing gets kind of messed up. So anyway, tutti first, and then we're going to have clarinet start, and then flutes. Oh, sorry, clarinets, and then trumpet, and then flutes. most of our first years are playing them. Not all of our first years are quite here in the book yet. I'd like to explain that. First of all, practice is really vital to your child being able to play well, because although we have 50 minutes twice a week, that goes by pretty fast. They need to use the muscles and work on things as much as possible. So if possible, allow them to practice at home. So some of the first years are really excelling, and we're going to have them play these two songs with us, and they're called Amigos, and they go into Farm Out. And some of them are joining us on Farm Out. They haven't quite got Amigos yet, but they're joining us